Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We are currently on the second day of the fifth case with our investigation portion of this. And we just got out of a day in court that was rather revealing in some ways, where we learned that there was another murder that took place on the same day as the Lana Skye Bruce Goodman incident, and apparently at the exact same time, where another stabbing happened. But what's really weird is that the victim was Detective Goodman. And now that's starting to make me wonder if what we thought happened in the prosecutor's office parking lot actually happened, or maybe it happened at a different time, or maybe Goodman was already dead, or something like that. So let's find out what we are going to do next here. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. Oh yeah, that was the other thing, is that we found another little connection between the two incidents. One of them was that, or we found a few connections, but one of them was the department's evidence room piece of evidence that we were looking at had the label SL9, which was like a case number, and that was something that was written on a note in the on Goodman's body that we found. So that was kind of interesting. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. Yes, science. Oh, I guess we're just automatically going here. Alright. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? I think that, if anything, makes it even more suspicious. Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Again, how are you hearing what we're thinking? Like, the blue text means that we're thinking it, right? Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Hehehe. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh, the music stopped. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid! Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Alright, well. We have another mechanic here in the game that we're getting introduced to, so let's give this a shot. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. And it looks like you can also do it by just clicking. Ah, here we go. I love the dramatic photo sound effect with the close-ups there. That's pretty funny. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a bloodstain? It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Yeah, I think you're going to have to get over that pretty quickly if you want to be on the police force. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this? Scientifically. I don't know why either of these would be really odd. I mean, the bloodstain's location makes sense if he was propped up against there and there was a stabbing. And then maybe it dripped down. So I don't think that's it. I think it's the amount of blood. Although we did see that Lana had blood on her coat, so at least in the photo we saw, so maybe some of it got there. I'm just going to go with the amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? I actually don't remember this. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Alright, luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. Spray to use. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. You know, we have another tool on our side to find things that they may not want to show if it paints the prosecution in a bad light. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Were you spying on us the whole time? Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Alright, well, let's talk to Angel. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I like how Emma's very straightforward about that. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? That's a good question. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I might seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel, too. I wouldn't doubt it. I would hope so, given your name. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. Prim and proper prosecutors, I like that alliteration. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. Uh-oh, we have another incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Alright. I wonder if this is one of those situations where you have to present this SL9 note. Okay, never mind. Oh, here we go. The SL9 incident, it's written on that knife, and on that note. So I guess you presented either one. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. That definitely sounds super suspicious. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Alright, maybe we have unlocked a new... I think this will just give us the same thing, right? Yeah. I wonder if we have to find something else and then come back. Also, I don't know if we've looked at everything new. I think we have, though. Alright, I'm just going to assume that we just need to go and find another piece of evidence. That would make sense, at least. Okay, just double checking. Let's move somewhere else. I'm going to go to here, talk to Lana. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine? How is she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Doesn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Yeah, I wonder who that is. I guess I forgot to mention that earlier. We met the District Chief of Police, Damon Gant, who's a pretty imposing guy. And we found out that apparently they're looking into somebody for the murder of the police department, but we don't know who that is. Alright, let's go to the criminal affairs. See what's going on here. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, it makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. Sure. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. I would hope not. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Well, that's nothing new. Especially if Gumshoe's not around. It's weird that we can go in here first before going to the police department entrance. Alright, we get Emma right in front of us here, apparently. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Okay, now can we go? Okay, here we go. This is new. Well, this is some rather interesting decor. I wonder who works here. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh. Oh! What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where is the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah, me too. I guess we can look around since this is a new location. There's a sign that says Texas. A lasso. Look, on the floor! A lasso! Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know! Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed! Yeah, I don't think so. You sure have an active imagination. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says, recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Well, I can't re-examine it, so that's a little unfortunate. Apparently, they allow you to bring in liquor into the police station, assuming that's what that is. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. I think you mean a poncho. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Yipes, those sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. Aww. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell, with spines pointing out in every direction? Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. The sad music stopped, so... I think that's all we can do here. Let's look at this. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in! I see a card scanner thing there, so I don't know if we can just walk in, unless Goodman's ID still works. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. We can't examine that. I don't think you can use items here, can you? No. I keep forgetting to look at all the profiles here. We can see all the different characters. I thought Angel would be a lot older. I guess not. Damon Gant is 65. Wow. I thought maybe he was just in his 50s. I don't know what more we can really do. Wait, we can look at this. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through there, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yarg myself. Okay. Well, I don't think we can do anything more in here, so let's just go back to the entrance. Can't do anything there either. I'm not sure what we need to be doing here. I feel like we need to get in there somehow, but I'm not entirely certain what it is we need to make that happen. It's one thing that's a little frustrating about this case is I feel like there's some very particular adventure game mechanical kind of things that you have to do to progress. Let's see if we get anything here. Okay, yeah, they're pointing to the evidence room. I'm not going to read all this here. Okay, oh, they're flashing back to this. Okay. Yeah, someone definitely has it out for Edgeworth. Let's go in here again. Did we miss something here, or... Because I looked at this, right? Like, I looked at the door. Like, how do I get... I'm assuming Marshall needs to be the one to come in here and talk with us about going inside. I just don't know how to get him in unless we can mess with something and then that would cause him to come through. But I don't see anything else we can actually do here, and I don't think we can interact with the environment anyway. Unless, wait a minute, hang on. Unless we gotta spray luminol. Let's try that. How do I spray? Can I even spray here? I don't think I can. Maybe I can only spray at, like, crime scenes and stuff. So, we can try it again once we get inside the evidence room. Okay, so I guess that's not it. Alright, I'm going to have to look up what we were supposed to do here. Let's see what we have. Oh. Okay, there is something that we could do with Angel. We can present Goodman's ID. Let's try that. I had one of these up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the Kava Queen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Okay, that didn't actually do anything. Do we need to present any more? No. Nothing there. Let's present the shoe. No. I hate looking up answers like that close to each other. Here we go. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? Ooh. Can we talk to her about... Yes, here we go. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence. Of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. Well, that certainly explains what Marshall is doing right now. He's just doing security duty. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Well, we did see in the photo that Marshall was there, so it has to be him. Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait! Those lunches you sell! There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie, what? It seems you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Ooh, that looks like a nice lunchbox. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Okay. Yeah, receipt from Miss Starr. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Alright, so maybe we have to give this to him for him to let us into the evidence room. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright, well, I think now we should try going over to the police area here. And we got new material to look at, as it were. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that... One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh, I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean you heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Well, wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. Okay. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Literally. Alright, let's try going in here now. Okay, still no Marshall. Let's go here, I guess. Nothing? Okay. Guess let's go to the detention center. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Let's not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Whee! Well, what was that?
Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the one perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi. Greetings, sir.
Ooh, we got the Grossberg music here. Wait, I know who you are.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
Officer Meekins! So you're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir. I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a lost little lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report?
No, sir. How should I say this?
Wait, he isn't... Is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you?
Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir!
What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. I like how his ID has him in this exact pose. That's pretty funny. Alright, well, apparently he's the one who's been arrested for the murder in the evidence room.
Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Sir!
Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins.
I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So normally there's a guard at the evidence room.
That's right, sir, because the evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall.
Well, Marshall?
Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person! Yow wow 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 wow!
What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then?
After that, sir, everything went white! I saw red! I blacked out!
That's a lot of colors.
And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center!
How long were you out? Days? Might I ask what happened to your hand?
Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir.
A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Sky. That's rather interesting. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime?
Well, you see, sir,
Don't you think you should just confess?
But but there's nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do?
Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir.
The detective pointed a knife at you?
And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious.
The next thing you knew, you were... Huh?
Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
Wait, are you saying that Detective Goodman was the one who pointed a knife at you?
What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt?
The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. I wonder if that victim was Goodman, and then he was eventually transported somehow to the prosecutor's office. Oh, wait. No. I did not mean to select that. Sorry about that. Okay. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right?
Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim!
I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that.
Ah, yes, well, that's true. Sir, I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side.
So you didn't know him?
Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives.
So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any intention of recollection of killing him, sir.
At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Yeah, that's for sure. Curious if he knows anything about this. Oh, never mind. I guess that was a special set of things. I should have reacted to that, or voiced that. Trying to see if there's anything else here that we should present to him. What about this knife? It's the same dialogue. That's an apple and I was being peeled. Okay. Curious to know if we need to present this to him. Do you think you could take a look at this? Ooh, okay. When it's a picture showing up, that's usually a good sign.
Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it!
That's what?
My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir.
You mean you remember what happened?
Correct! That card was the cause of it all!
This ID card?
Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing!
I better pry into this one a little deeper. Alright. Crime details. Okay, so we have a new second thing here. Can you tell me what it is you do remember?
Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A little lost little lamb, if you will.
Yeah, we've been through that part.
I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why...
Oh, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious.
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card.
Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far.
That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What'd he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
What?
Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him.
Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him?
Do unto others before they do unto you.
My own father's word, sir. I don't think that's how the saying goes. Well, what happened then?
Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I woke, I was here.
Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma?
Let's look at what we know.
Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he had met at the scene of the crime, didn't show him his ID card. In other words, we have no idea of knowing if the victim was really the victim. Yeah, that is really odd. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died.
That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines.
Huh? But you still ended up here.
They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, on that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly.
No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape.
Okay, well in that case, I feel like we need to watch that. That sounds very important. And you waited until now to tell us this?
I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it.
No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. I'm curious to know if we can show him our badge. What happens if we do that? Officer Meekins, have a look at this.
Go ahead, sir. Laugh. Laugh at me, sir.
Huh?
I know what you want to say. You're just going to tell me how she has one just like it.
Me? Why would I...
I know, sir. I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges.
What?
Nowhere. I'm alone. All alone. Is that so wrong?
I don't think that's what we're talking about here.
Life isn't about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir.
Is he talking about those badges on her coat? I'd like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Yeah. Okay. Alright, now let's see if we can go to the scene of the crime, although I guess we can go here now. And get some new stuff. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. Hey, Gant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha! Righto, my boy! How you been? Swim much? You really like swimming, don't you? Oh ho ho! Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Alright, well, we can talk to Gant. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yeah, that sounds pretty serious. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. Well, we got the glary Von Karma portrait here, too. Alleged he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what the inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. Well, you're doing an awfully good job of doing that right now. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives' trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. I take it we need to present something here. Curious to know what happens if we ask him about this. Nope. What about the shoe? Nope. Thankfully, all the dialogue here is pretty short. Let's ask him about this. No. Maybe we don't actually have to ask him anything.
Nope, okay. I'll, if I need to come back here later, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna really worry about that right now. I feel like that little bit of dialogue at the end was suggesting that we need to try to get something more out of him. We still can't do anything here, huh? Huh, okay. Well, I guess we can try more stuff here. We didn't present this, did we? No, we did. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna look up the solution. Let's see, so we did... Oh, we need to apparently examine the chief of detectives. That's a little strange, considering that we can't, like, enter a conversation with him. I guess we can do that. Ooh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. Goodman's lost item report, a half-written document dated 2/21, can only be submitted to the chief of police. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Do we need to present this to Damon Gant? Nope. Alright, so there's really nothing particularly incriminating or revealing on that, doesn't look like. Alright, so the subtitle suggested that we need to go to the police department crime scene, so can we finally get through the door now? No? Alright, this is getting a little strange. Oh, we just need to talk to Gant. It's weird that getting the lost item report is a prerequisite for that. That's really odd. Here we go. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room? There's that stare again. Now, Wright-o. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Wright-o, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, "Sir, can I borrow $50?" I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. Huh, hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? Yeah, the blurriness of the stuff here seems to suggest it's Goodman's. That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. I feel like they could have made this acid a little different just to erase Goodman's name from it in that case. Yes, sir. It's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Alright, there you go. Hey, it looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID! You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we need to go into the evidence room now, sir. Did, Meekins rub off on you, Emma? I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Yeah, I would say so as well. Alright, so let's go to the entrance again. And let's go into the evidence room. I guess we can just go examine the door again? Is that how we do it? Yes. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader's turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall? Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him to look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you saying there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. It's like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions? Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Well, let's speak with him anyway. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation. Pronto. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands. Oh! We need to give him the steak. Let's do that real quick, and hopefully he'll talk to us after that. That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina. You win. Ask much, anything, much smack. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Alright. Let's go and try talking to him now. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, but I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. Oh wait, that's me. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people in here anyhow. There's newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Oh, only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, You need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. Card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. Okay. So this is the ID card record. Hey! I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. And we'll do that in a sec. Also, I don't think Marshall likes vegetables with this steak, I'm gathering. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a raw-eyed wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. Yeah, that's for sure. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transfers. Edgeworth was talking about the transfers too. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? Well, we keep evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there's a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is just like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. That's interesting, because I feel like this is a slightly different model for how this works compared to the DL6 incident and the statute of limitations being, what was it, 15 years, I think it was? So, like, this whole idea of evidence not lasting more than 2 years, I mean, maybe it's only evidence, maybe it's not the case itself, but they basically say the case is dead, but maybe that's because the evidence is dead, so, I don't know. It seems to be kind of a bit of a contradiction. Alright, let's present Goodman's ID to him. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot? The number on this is 582-42189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Well, it's the second to last number on there. Look, the fourth number, it's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. There's also 4 other numbers here. We've got 777-7777, 8730-579, 4989-596, and then something down there. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Alright, I got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. That's a good idea. So let's take a look at this again here. Oh, I thought I could look at it. That was weird. I thought I pressed E. The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. About the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither Wild nor West here. Aha, but this and that are 2 different things entirely. I guess so? Huh? I'm lost. You and me both, Emma. Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Oh, I hit E to present. I didn't hit enter. That was, okay. Okay, so this number was used twice. Once here and once here. So that's interesting. Was this Meekins coming in here and then coming in again when he ran into Bruce Goodman? Or I guess we can show this around here. At any rate, let's go into the evidence room now that we can finally get in there. I believe there's some items here that are references to Apollo Justice, the 4th game in the series, but I'm not sure what they are specifically. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. A nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Oh, hey, Gumshoe. Eek! Whoa! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give him $50. No problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're a boss for a day. Gee, thanks. I don't think that's how that works. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room floor plans added to the court record. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. I guess that's for spraying luminol and stuff. I'm going to present the record here to him. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was a Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! Well, what is it? That second number! It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth! What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that's rather interesting. What? ID card record updated in the court record. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Looks like we need to go visit Edgeworth here at some point. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day? That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Haha, of course. I am a detective after all. Shouldn't they have like their own room for that instead of using the evidence room? They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. Sounds interesting. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed, so only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap! You get a shock? If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. But wouldn't they, like, figure that out when they tried to, like, put their hand on it, and that was, like, the only thing that they had to do? Alright, evidence locker. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Let's talk about Edgeworth. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the Inquiry Committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess-up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. I feel like Mr. Edgeworth was haunted by the DL6 incident, and now we're going to have another incident that he can't get away from. I'm curious to know what he has to do with it, though. I mean, it sounds like he was just dragged into this. Now it's the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. Well, I guess we can present some of the stuff related to SL9. Maybe this. Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. Oh, that I did not know. I don't know if they mentioned that before. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Interesting. Let's talk to him about that. Now, that was a bloody, violent case. Yeah, no one wants to talk about this. I'm curious to know why. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing? A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with a transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Alright, I get the feeling that we need to actually start looking around here, so let's check out all the stuff. Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. Looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Yeah, that's for sure. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Goodman put this here, or Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me look out to be that kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Alright, let's look at this one. This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Yeah, right after we talked about the fingerprint thing, too. Hey, pal, our security's high-tech around here. I guess that's if you hadn't talked to Gumshoe about that yet. That's the door we just came in through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside. Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Yeah, I hope so, too. Let's look at this stuff. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is. Ah, that's my personal pole! I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal. That's that metal detector. Yeah, that really came in handy for us. The fishing pole wasn't so, not so much so. The one that led to the solving of that case out in Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box? You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Alright, well, let's look at the heart of the matter here, hopefully. Okay, there's a little bit more going on over in this area. I see a handprint there, which looks rather suspicious. What's this? Blood! It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use our testing fluid to check it out. Alright, I'll do that in a sec, but first I want to look at all the other things here. There's apparently another open locker. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. It must have taken the contents elsewhere. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Yeah, this one is another SL9 piece of evidence, judging by that tag. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Rubber glove. Tag evidence from the SL9 incident. Extremely thin rubber glove. Okay. There's paint on the ground and on one of the lockers. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. Ooh, I didn't know you were passionate about this subject, Gumshoe. True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Oh, maybe so. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room? That's right, Gumshoe was the one who made the Blue Badger, right? Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Actually, in this case, I don't. Another piece of SL9 evidence. Let's take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Looks like a vase or something. Alright, let's see here. I'm trying to find, yeah, this looks like the right one. Can I... Yeah, there we go. So I can rotate it like this. So I gotta find something with a... kind of a... not a smooth edge, but maybe a longer edge. Let's try... Oh, I thought this was it. Is this it? This one. I accidentally went to a different one. There we go. Alright, so now let's figure out this one. I think this might be the one that goes here. There we go. Alright, this one looks like... let's look at some of the other pieces. Maybe this? No. Okay, that's too... No. I'm trying to rotate, but I keep... There we go, that's right. Is it this? No. I bet it's this one. maybe not. I don't think it's this, right? Or is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, now we need to do the one right here. And then this one is probably this right here. Let's rotate. There we go. And then finally we have this. There we go. Well, we have part of this. Well, there's a piece missing. Gumshoe spent 3 hours on that, by the way. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Oh, okay. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court record. Jar pieced together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and try spraying some luminol on the area around here. We got so many stuff, so many things here. I'll just click here. Ooh, there's blood over there. Yeah, I love that camera sound. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? I don't think so. This proves that something really happened in front of the locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Alright, let's spray some more. I think it's weird that we have this... Yeah, right there. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine! It's yours. Please. You have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Don't worry, I understand the sentiment. Is there anything else here, or is that it? Looks like that's it. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think at this point, I'm going to go and talk to Edgeworth about the ID thing that we found. Oh, we have to go here first, that's right. It's weird, like, what places you can get to from where. Alright. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm not sure what we need to do. I'm gonna look up what we need to do next. I feel like we were on a good roll there. Okay. Apparently we've missed something along the way, but I'm not sure what. Okay, we did everything with Goodman. Yeah, I don't see what it is that we're supposed to do. I think we've done everything that we're supposed to do up to this point, so I'm not sure. We're not supposed to do something else here, are we? Also, we haven't looked at the glove yet in detail. I guess we can rotate it around and stuff. But nothing particularly unusual, I guess, so. We can also look at this. Oh, we can get more detail here. Hey look, they're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Okay. Oh! I see what we missed. I should have known that this was important. This is my bad. We were supposed to spray on the left side of the room. Let's spray here. Let's see here. Alright. Spray. Ah, another handprint. Only a few fingers on it, though. I still can't get over that sound. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey! That's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Oh, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you need to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Now, what kind of restaurant flyer is that? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. Alright. Good luck. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Alright, now let's try moving to Edgeworth. Here we go. Here we are. Hey, it's the bellboy. Ah, guests. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service. Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe is looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Alright, let's talk about what Edgeworth has been doing. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided not to treat this as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see. That seems awfully convenient. There's a lot of things going on here that seem to be orchestrated.
Why, I ask you? Why?
All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of.
But still...
Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Alright, well, let's ask him about the ID card record. Oh, right! I better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you?
Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that.
I was asked to go, by Chief Gant, no less.
Really now?
The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago.
AI-16? Is that what that says?
He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief has never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say.
Also, is that the screwdriver from the Turnabout Sisters case that was stuck in April May's drawer?
It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Screwdriver. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth, brought back to his office by Gant's request. Unrelated evidence, Screwdriver added to the court record.
Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case.
We can't talk to him about anything else. Can we talk to him about SL9 by presenting one of these?
I know you. You've probably got a... Wait. Yeah. You've probably got a hold of some information already, haven't you? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator.
Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
I thought, Bruce Goodman was.
Or was he just the leading detective? That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then? He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why it was a deputy chief of police on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully.
Yeah, I believe him. I don't think he would be the type to go out and just do that, without a good reason, at least. But I don't even know if he would do it at all.
By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course.
Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting set and fingerprint file received. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Indeed, there was a handprint on that one locker in the evidence room. Also, I want to say... is this under profiles now, or... No? Okay. I didn't know if we could find, like, a fingerprinting file that they're talking about under there, but maybe we need to look under the court record? Maybe we just need to actually take the fingerprints and then we'll bring the file up. We'll figure it out. At any rate, what am I trying to say? At any rate, let's go to the evidence room. Okay. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Right there. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. I like how the camera sound is even used here. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the queerest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Alright, I think the thumb is the most queer one here. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With enter, see? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Alright, so let's just go ahead and cover everything in powder here. I don't know how much we have to do, but we can just make a bunch of stuff here, and then we can do that. Aha, you did it, you found one. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Really now? Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. And I see something here. Is this the correct one, or? There we go. Alright. Okay, let's move on to a different finger. But wait, that was that looked pretty clear though. Why wasn't it? Do I have to like really get like everything covered up and then? I want to say like on the DS, you actually had to literally blow into like the sensor to do this. Like, this looks pretty good. I don't know what's wrong with this. Are we just not getting a queer enough picture here of this, or... There we go! Yay, a print so queer it's dazzling. Yeah, that took us quite a while to get to that. The dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. No kidding. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Okay, let's look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Okay, so not Gant. Not Angel Starr. That looks pretty close. Looks like Gumshoe. I like how the game has this little comparison thing here. Alright. Match found! Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Indeed, let's go over there. And let's take a look-see. Do I just go in here and select this? How do I... Or do I have to luminol it again? Let's try that. Might have to do this again. Okay, it's already showing us that there. How do I use this here, though? Oh, I did. Okay, let me try looking at the locker. Yeah, there's a magnifying glass without check mark. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There's a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away, too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me! Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Like maybe here? I don't really see any like markings though. But the game is like forcing us to do stuff here, so... Wait, there? Apparently there's something there. Okay. Okay, let's blow. Okay. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a queer result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Maybe here? Should be a finger here, right? Like the thumb would be out here. Oh, here we go. That still does not seem very promising. I wish we could see a little more clearly. Okay, that's where we...
Wait, is this the same? I think it is. I feel like we need to go out here somewhere and get the thumb, but I just don't see where. Let's try here. I feel like we weren't all the way up there earlier, so maybe this will be it. There we go. Okay. Come on, let's get this dust off. I think I would like this a little bit more if it wasn't so fiddly. There we go. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Jake Marshall. So Marshall was in here, huh? That's pretty suspicious. I like that noise. Hey, those fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints, found on a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. The print had been wiped. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't know if I'd call that decisive. I don't believe it. I mean, the blood part is suspicious, but the context is everything here. Well, I guess we're calling it a day. That was quite a meaty video for today, so hope you all enjoyed yourselves today. I had a lot of fun with that part. That was really cool. The fingerprinting little mini game, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I'm really enjoying this case and the story in it. So tomorrow, or next time, we're going to take on the third day as we go into the next segment of trial. But we'll do that next time. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one, everybody.